Look at the shore right there. Do you see that? Do you see that shore? Okay. Keep watching.
You guys.
What?
Okay. Okay, hold on. So I'm going to set my LOD back to 2, and then I'm going to go in my settings and lower my FOV to 50. I see them. Oh my god.
Bro.
Thanks to the wonderful people in our Discord, we have found a massive issue, as you probably saw in the intro clip, regarding FOV and LOD quality within Tarkov. Players are turning invisible at certain ranges, and it depends on both that LOD quality slider and FOV. Before I delve into the testing further, I want to mention that picture-in-picture sights, so any sort of optic like the Monstrum, the ACOG, the Voodoo, or even the rangefinder that I was using in the video, are completely independent of those LOD features, the visibility features, as it's a different picture to make sure that you're not having any issues with like objects rendering in and players rendering in, so that you'll be able to see those longer ranges. When you don't have picture-in-picture, it doesn't do this. So that's how we base these experiments, is we would look without picture-in-picture to see what cutoffs the players would despawn. At first, we were simply adjusting the LOD slider when we noticed that something was off.
Wow.
I don't see them.
That makes
At
sense.
2.5, I don't see them at all.
What the hell? Because I 100% see them, even when I lowered my overall visibility down. I 100% see them over there.
I see them on LOD 3. What?
What the
Dude.
Even though both of us on a rock had 2.5 FOV, one of us was able to see players on the shore while the other was not. That's when, as you'll see right here, we noticed the FOV issue.
Dude.
That's bugged.
Wait,
as
FOV, FOV.
FOV is 62.
Why are you gonna be so
60.
weird about your FOV?
62. Hold on.
True.
2.5. I can see them. That's what it was. I can see them now. FOV.
What?
FOV fucks with it.
What was your FOV?
It was 70. 75, sorry. Max.
Oh my god, it fucks with it.
Is it actually? No way.
I was able to discover that the cutoff for me with LOD at 2 with a 62 FOV was around 225 meters. Then bumping it up to 2.5 saw a 50 meter increase in the cutoff. It seems like each one of these increments is an additional 50 meters of visibility. This incrementing can depend on your FOV though, because as you saw in that clip, differing FOVs can have different player despawn distances. So for example, my 225 distance for 62 could actually be a 250 distance for the 50 FOV or 200 for the 75 FOV. These aren't distances that I was able to confirm, but there is 100% scaling in between different FOV settings in player spawns. There was only so much distance we could go though in the specific setting, but what this shows is that there is an obvious issue with player despawns beyond 200 meters. If you play at a lower FOV, you will have a farther line of sight on PMCs in general. Now this won't be that big of a deal, as you're probably not trying to snipe at 400 meters with iron sights, but for example, if you're getting shot at from roughly 200 meters away and they have, say, a suppressor on, the muzzle flash will not be there, nor will the player. Of course, when you have 75 FOV and 2 LOD quality. So maybe some of those times where you were completely confused as to where you died from, it could have been this issue, especially if you play at lowest settings. Not to mention, most players like having the wider FOV, so having that wider FOV will also bring that spawn rate even closer. Didn't seem like it was breaking past the 200 point, but this is something to note in the future if you are trying to snipe at far distances and you don't always use picture-in-picture. If you're trying to get some crazy clip or something. As far as we could tell, hit reg was still working as we were volleying shots at each other while we were invisible, and it was still landing, so nothing to report there. There's no issues with hit reg, it's just the actual player spawn. This won't come up in most gameplay scenarios, but I thought it was an interesting little topic to bring up and could help explain why some people were confused as to where they're getting shot from, especially if it's from really far away. So if you're trying to snipe, it may be wise to have a lower FOV and up your LOD quality a little bit, but if you're using picture-in-picture, this setting won't matter regardless. This is a weird issue, and it's honestly a bug that I'm going to report to BSG after making this video. There's no way that field of view should affect the spawn distance of PMCs. It seems kind of ridiculous to me, frankly. I want to reiterate with the final part of this video that you should not have to worry about this most of the time. as you won't be finding much PMCs that you're going to be fighting with iron sights from beyond 200 meters, but their bodies still are not there, and that could be an issue depending on where you're playing and what you're doing. It's just a weird quirk that Tarkov has now, and I guess we just add that to the pile of weird shit that's going on. At first I thought people were crazy saying that players weren't spawning in at given distances with lower FOV, but they were right, even though the distance is a bit further than I think most people believe that it is. If you guys have any additional tips or anything you want me to check out, feel free to let me know in the comments, and of course, like and subscribe and hit all the buttons. Just so you know, if you're watching this shortly after I've posted the video, I will be streaming Friday, so that's this Friday at roughly 7 p.m. CST, so if you have any questions or just want to say hi, please stop by. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you so very much for 3,000 subscribers, and I'll keep looking into issues like this within Tarkov in the near future. Expect a GPU optimization video for the settings pretty soon. I was going to make that before I realized that this was a more pertinent video to make. For now though, this will be Clem, clocking out. Later.